Hello, I'm Mohsen Jamal and you watch Afghan News. Hamid Karzai, the president of Afghanistan, has arrived in New Delhi on a two-day visit described by India as an opportunity for both countries to consolidate their strategic partnership and discuss bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual concern. During his second trip to the Indian capital this year, Karzai will meet Manmohan Singh, the Indian Prime Minister, and sign several strategic agreements, including ones on development, aid and security. Reports said on Sunday that Karzai would sign a strategic partnership agreement with Singh, the first such pact with any country in the world. The proposed alliance, which Foreign Ministry officials declined to confirm, was said to include an Indian commitment to increase the training of Afghan security forces, including the police. Indian involvement in Afghanistan is sensitive because of the delicate and often deadly power games in South Asia. The Afghan President Hamid Karzai has accused Pakistan of pursuing a double game, saying Islamabad is not cooperating in the battle against armed groups to establish peace in Afghanistan. In a prime-time national address on Monday, Karzai said he had always stood by friendly relations with Pakistan, hoping to face the challenge of cross-border extremism together, but his neighbor had failed him, continuing to use terrorism as a means. He also called for a review of his country's plans to pursue peace with the Taliban, saying he will focus on talking to governments and not specific groups related to them. Karzai acknowledged that his efforts for peace had failed as his overtures were met with more violence and targeted killings. Karzai's comments follow Pakistan's criticism by Admiral Mike Mullen, former chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, who accused Pakistan's intelligence agency last month of playing a role in the recent attack on the U.S. embassy in Kabul. The top U.S. general in Afghanistan has said that the United States troops will remain here for a long time, likely for beyond a plain 2014 handover of security responsibilities. The new U.S. commander in Afghanistan, Marine General John Allen, added that the plan is to win and be successful. There are nearly 100,000 American troops in Afghanistan, and U.S. President Barack Obama plans to withdraw about one-third by next summer. Allen also said that his biggest challenge is the attacks on his troops by fighters coming from safe havens in Pakistan. Allen said the problem with safe havens has got worse in the past 10 years, but added that the United States was seeking a constructive relationship with Pakistan. The International Committee for the Red Cross says access to medical care in some parts of Afghanistan has reached a critically low point because of the deteriorating security situation. In a statement released Tuesday, the ICRC said local clinics have been forced to close because of fighting, attacks on the premises, and intimidation of staff. The Geneva-based organization said that despite improvements in the quality of life for some people in Afghanistan, the security situation in many areas of the country remains alarming. It did not specify which regions are affected, but the UN said last week that the monthly average number of clashes and other attacks was running nearly 40% higher than last year. Australian Defence Minister Stephen Smith has expressed confidence Afghan government forces will be ready to take over full security responsibility come 2014 when coalition forces are scheduled to withdraw. Speaking during a brief visit to Afghanistan on Monday, Smith said Afghan and coalition security forces had made considerable progress over the current summer fighting season. He said the statistics clearly showed the number of Taliban-initiated violent incidents had fallen, and further evidence that insurgents were faltering on the ground was their resorting to high-profile terror attacks and assassinations. Smith said he was well aware gains could easily be reversed. Visiting the main Australian base at Tarancot, Mr. Smith met Uruzgan Governor Shirzad and his provincial security chiefs, commander of the Afghan National Army 4th Brigade Brigadier Zafar, provincial chief of the National Director of Security Colonel Khan Muhammad, and new provincial chief of police Brigadier Matiullah Khan. Armed men near the northwestern Pakistani city of Quetta have killed at least 13 Shiite Muslims headed to a vegetable market in what police believe to be a sectarian attack. Witnesses say the attackers approached a bus headed towards Dalbandin 45 minutes into their journey in the southwestern province of Balochistan. According to senior police officer Hamish Akil, the passengers were forced to stand in line as 4 or 5 gunmen opened fire, killing 13 and wounding 5 from the ethnic Hazara community. Families of the victims, many of whom were shopkeepers and merchants, set fire to a bus used to transport the injured and died in a show of protest, while another group of protesters reportedly blocked access to the main highway leading to Quetta. No one has claimed responsibility for Tuesday's attack. The attack comes just 2 weeks after a similar attack targeting Shiite Muslims killed at least 26 pilgrims in the majority Sunni nation. Mahmoud Jibril, the Prime Minister and often the foreign face of Libya's National Transitional Council, has pledged to resign from government once the country is liberated. That moment will occur when Sirte, the contested coastal hometown of ousted leader Muammar Gaddafi, is taken by NTC fighters, Jibril said in a press conference on Monday. More than a month after the fall of Tripoli, the NTC appeared to have finalized a new cabinet that reportedly aimed to be more representative and take into account the desires of Islamist factions. According to the NTC's draft interim constitution, the NTC will form a new interim government in Tripoli after the announcement of liberation, which Jibril and others have said will come after the capture of Sirte. Syrian troops going house to house have detained more than 3,000 people in the past 3 days in a rebellious town that government forces recently retook in some of the worst fighting since the country's uprising began 6 months ago, an activist has said. He said the detainees were being held at a cement factory as well as some schools and the sports club, a massive 4-story compound in Rastan. The activist, who spoke on condition of anonymity, added that the town of some 70,000 people was heavily bombed for 5 days, starting Tuesday when the army launched an offensive. Syria's state media said troops took control of Rastan after hunting down armed terrorists holed up inside. Meanwhile, Khalid Aboud, a member of Syria's parliament, dismissed a broad-based national council set up by the opposition, saying it will not be able to overthrow Assad. And that a bomb blast outside main government buildings in Mogadishu has killed many people and left several others wounded. The coordinator of the Somali capital's ambulance service says. Ali Mus said that students, soldiers and civilians were among the dead in Tuesday's attack and added that they have carried 65 dead bodies and 50 injured people. Al-Shabaab, the armed anti-government group, claimed responsibility for the attack, which occurred when 3 cabinet ministers were inside the building. There were initial reports that the labor minister was injured in the blast, which was not verified. And that's all for now. Thanks for staying with us.